What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am here in Chinatown Square here in Chicago because I wanted to get out of the basement, and also it is quickly becoming one of my favorite places to be in the city. And today we're going to talk about 4 things that I think are going to help you guys get sharp, in-focus photos for the rest of your life. But right now I am realizing that I am starving. So I am going to go ahead to my favorite restaurant here, grab some food real quick, and then we will get back to these 4 tips. I'll be right back. So my first tip for getting, for nailing focus and getting sharp photos for the rest of your life is just to simplify your shooting. There is a misconception in the photography world that, like, if you're not shooting in manual, then you're not like a real photographer, and that's bullshit. Shoot however you need to shoot in order to get the shots that you need to shoot. So 90% of the time I am shooting in aperture priority, which is kind of like a semi-manual setting. But as a portrait photographer, what becomes most important to me, the only thing that I want to be thinking about is depth of field. So usually what I'm usually changing is my aperture, because what becomes important is that I really want that separation. I really want that bokeh in the background and things like that. The more that I can just concentrate on getting the shot, getting my composition right, and then nailing focus, that's better for me. So if there's people out there telling you that you need to be shooting in manual to be a real photographer, tell those guys to go eat one and shoot however you need to shoot in order to get the shots that you need to get. Here is my second tip for getting sharp in focus photos for the rest of your life. Set your focus button to the back of the camera, and here's why. For a long time I was shooting and engaging my focus by half pressing on the shutter button, and what that led to is just a lot of either missed shots or shots not being taken, right? So half pressing, you know, I'm getting shots that I don't want, or just half engaging the button led to me not being able to depress the shutter button as quickly as I wanted to. And so you really want to maximize your opportunities for getting the exact photos that you want. The second reason that I switched my focusing to the back of the camera is because when I'm engaging this back focusing button, it locks onto the focus. And usually I have this set to like eye autofocus or something like that to engage the eye autofocus. And so once you have that depressed, then you can compose a shot while maintaining the focus point that you want. So when I bring the camera up, once I press this back focusing button, I can then move the camera around, and as long as that area that I have pressed this button on is still engaged in the frame, it's going to hold on to that focus for as long as I have my finger down on this button. So back button focusing is another tip that I would give you guys just for capturing and getting your shots in focus all the time. Here is my third tip for getting nailed focus every single time for the rest of your life. Use your spot focus. Eye autofocus works amazing, right? The eye autofocus on Sony is amazing, but sometimes it might go to the right eye or the left eye, and what you need is really to be able to dial in your spot focus to nail focus on the eye or the area or anything that you want. And so while the eye autofocus, at least on my A7R4, will automatically go to the eye, when you use your spot focuses and you engage it with that back button focus, it will override the eye autofocus and focus on the area that you want in focus. So that's actually how you supercharge your focusing spots with Sony cameras at least. I don't know how most other cameras work, but I'm sure that any camera with an amazing autofocusing system, the R5, any of the Sonys, any of those cameras, when you use your spot focus, is really going to be the way to really dial in your focusing settings to really get those photos as sharp and as in focus as you possibly need them to be. So spot focus, use it, and then get yourself used to using the small one, using the medium, using the large, and just being able to really dial in your focus points in your photo. So here it is, my fourth and final tip on absolutely nailing focus every single time for the rest of your life, and that is shoot in bursts. Because when you are taking single shots, shooting and looking, you might miss the shot, and if that shot is not in focus, you don't have other shots to rely on. So when you are setting your camera to burst and shooting in 3 or 5 shot bursts, the likelihood of the first shot not being in focus is pretty high, but the likelihood of that 3rd or 5th shot not being in focus lowers. And so you want to give yourself the most chances to be able to nail that focus. And shooting in bursts, though you'll have to sort through a lot more photos, but it's better to have the photo that you need than to have not got it and wish that you had. So there it is. Those are my 4 tips for absolutely nailing focus. Set your camera to back button focus, use those focus points, shoot in bursts, and then just simplify the way that you're shooting. I think if you guys follow those 4 tips, at least those are the 4 tips that I rely on every single time that I'm out making photos and shooting portraits. I think that you guys will find that you're going to be getting more and more of your photos tack sharp and the focus that you want. Thanks, I'm Jamil. This has been a boy named Jamil. Check out this sunset. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.